Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Vashan Brown. The Separate Group is urging the government to put more focus on staving off job losses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, speaking at the company's annual general meeting yesterday, the chairman and the CEO of Separate agreed that social inequity is the greatest threat to the business right now. Andrew Lately reports.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic, many companies have pivoted, simply trying to stay in business. A key part of that survival strategy has been the desire for more funding to productive sectors. But the Separate Group believes it will take much more than well-capitalized corporations to keep the economy intact. Chairman Paul B. Scott explains.
We have to protect the social inequality that could arise out of the disruption. Protecting that first, the individuals rather than firms, is much more important.
He says there's an urgent need to stop wide-scale job cuts, an effect which he noted will have a devastating impact on Separate's business if prolonged.
And we'll pivot and we'll figure it out. But if there's no market there, because people are unemployed and they have no money to buy our goods, then that is a problem for us. You have to keep the availability of a market there. If you keep an availability of a market there and some level of dollars in people's pockets, that, I believe, is a good strategy.
Separate CEO Richard Pandoe agrees.
I believe, for example, the penalties on GCT payments, etc., could be foregone for a period of time. Exactly. Those penalties are onerous. I mean, those could be and allow the companies to keep their cash flow going, to keep people employed. I mean, we will not have enough fund to direct intervention for a sustained period, but we have to create an environment where we can create jobs.
Separate posted lower net profit for the 2019 financial year, totaling $1 billion. The company says the decline was mostly due to the significant one-time costs associated with the closure of its sugar factory and the consolidation of its dairy business. Andrew Lately, TVJ News.
Cruise lines are expected to greatly restrict the interactions of their guests with destination tour operators when they restart sailing. The Royal Caribbean Group and Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings Healthy Sail Panel made the disclosure in its report to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The cruise lines say their guests will only be allowed to participate in cruise line-sponsored or verified excursions in an effort to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Currency trading now, well, it ended today with the US dollar selling for $142.22. The Canadian dollar sold for $107.29. The pound sterling closed at $182.51, while the euro is going for $169.98. The JC index gained 4,221 points today, while the junior market index lost 22 points. Among the winners were CAC 2000, Portland JSX, Pulse Investments, Kingston Properties, and iCreate. On the losing side were AMG Packaging and Paper, Stationery and Office Supplies, Proven Investments US Dollar Shares, Fosrich, and General Accident Insurance Company. And that's the Business Day. I'm Vashan Brown. Have a good evening.